welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is good, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and thank you for joining me for another eBay sales video here on the channel. If you guys aren't familiar with this one, I take 6 books that recently sold the prior week on eBay, and we discuss them, go through them. I give the GPA analysis over the past 3 years, and we find out if these people got good deals or not. But before we get started in the video, like always, I want to remind you guys, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel, click that sub button, smash that like button. Let's get as many likes on this video as we possibly can. And of course, check out all the new merch I have for sale down below. With that said, let's check out these eBay books. The first book we're going to take a look at this week is a copy of Marvel Preview number 4 and the first appearance of Star-Lord. Now this copy is CGC 9.0 and a white pager to boot, just sold on June 4th for $474.99. Believe it or not, this was a buy it now. Now, as we get into the GPA data, you can see that the last sale on this book was $679. So this one has not been recorded as of yet. The 90-day average for this one, $508 on just 3 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $479 on 9 sales. In 2022, the average was $468. All the way back now, $474. We haven't seen this since early 2022. And of course, 2021, the average was $419. And we'll say this, I wonder if this book had a little bit of a run-up before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Regardless, I think it's a cool book, a magazine-sized book, guys. So a lot of people, they tend to shy away when buying these books just for the fact that they're magazine style and not regular comic style. Regardless, if you're a huge Star-Lord fan, I'm going to say pick up this book. It's still really cheap. If you're not, I'd probably be staying away. But either way, an awesome key. Next up, let's talk about some Silver Age Spider-Man. And I think when we talk about Silver Age Spider-Man, you think of 1 through 50, some of the most iconic Spider-Man keys of all time. Now, this copy, an Amazing Spider-Man number 4, the first appearance of the Sandman, just sold last week in a CGC 3.0 and off-white pager for $1,375. Another buy it now. Now, this book is a little bit in rough shape. Not sure how it got a 3.0. Regardless, guys, as we get into the GPA data, you can see the last sale has been recorded for $1,375. The 90-day average for this one, $1,273 on 6 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $1,157. In 2022, the average was $1,297. And in 2021, all the way back, $1,452. Now, I must say this. Over the past 90 days, this book has come up a bunch, almost about $200, a little bit more than that. So somebody wants to own Silver Age Spider-Man, probably me. No, in all seriousness, guys, I think this is one of the better keys that you can buy relating to the Amazing Spider-Man. I always want to own issues number 1 through 50. I think that's always the goal, the best you're ever going to get when referring to Amazing Spider-Man. You guys want to talk about a rare book, a ghost? How about this one? It is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8 in a CGC 9.8, a white pager, but a Canadian newsstand variant. Now this one, guys, even has the great Secret Wars label, which I absolutely love, and I think it really pumps up the value of this book. Now this copy sold on June 4th for a crazy $1,925 on 23 bids, so it was an auction. As you could see, the last sale for this book has been recorded, and it's this one. Not only that, the 90-day average for this book was also this one as well, with only 1 copy selling in the past 90 days. The 12-month rolling average for this book, $2,075 on just 4 sales. In 2022, guys, the average was $2,074 on 2 sales the entire year. In 2021, the average was $2,679. Again, this is one of my favorite covers from the Copper Age. Again, another storyline I absolutely love. I think it's a must-own book. You don't have to go out and get the Canadian newsstand, but hell, I want a 9.8 copy of this book. I think it's totally worth it. And the person who bought this, I think it's money well spent for the fact that it is super rare to have a Canadian newsstand at a 9.8 and also this great Secret Wars label. Up next, we have a banger and a request from someone out there in the community. Here's a copy of Age of Spiderverse number 2, of course the Greg Land 1 in 25 variant. This copy, a CGC 9.8, sold on June 1st for a whopping $6,150. But look at that ass, guys. 51% off from $12,600. You don't see this book come up for sale that often. I was searching eBay and there weren't a lot of copies on there. Either way, the last sale according to GPA was this one at $6,150. The 90-day average for this book, $5,969. The 12-month rolling average, $6,997 on 13 sales. In 2022, the average was a whopping $9,001 on 14 sales. And in 2021, $7,095. Man, this book really went up in 2022, all the way up to $9,000. Now back down to around $6,000. At least that's where it's sat over the past 90 days. Again, if you want to own this book, I think for the long term you're going to be fine, but I'm not too sure. We had the Age of Spiderverse movie come out. It's doing great. Why isn't this book going up? Maybe someone could tell me down in the comments. Up next, let's talk about a book we haven't spoken about in quite some time. It is a copy of X-Men number 94 and the first appearance of the new X-Men team in their own title. Now this copy, a CGC 9.0 and a white pager, was listed for $1,783, but the best offer was accepted for $1,690 and it sold on June 6th. Now the last sale according to GPA was this one for $1,690. The 90-day average for this book, $1,478 on just 5 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $1,930. The 2022 average, $2,318, and of course way back in 2021, $3,017, right under a 50% decline over those past 2 years. I will say this, finally going up a bit over the past 90 days. I'm glad to see that, but in my opinion, guys, if I want to own an X-Men key, it's going to be X-Men number 1 from the original run, and then of course Giant Size X-Men 1. This book is probably not appearing till about 3rd on that list. Either way, it's an awesome key that I still want to own, especially in high grade. And the last book we're going to talk about is one of my favorite covers of all time. I actually spent my childhood trying to recreate this cover, but I couldn't do it. It is a copy of Spider-Man number 1, signed by the great Todd McFarlane with that awesome new CGC McFarlane label at a 9.6. Now this copy sold at auction on June 4th for $1,287 on 23 bids. Now we're going to get into this issue selling on GPA in just a minute, but I wanted to show you the data first for an unsigned copy at a 9.6. Now, in that GPA data, you can see the last sale was $1,092 in 2023. The 90-day average for this book, $1,092 again, because only one copy sold over that time period. The 12-month rolling average, $1,180. The 2022 average, $1,187. And in 2021, $1,102. Again, really steady over the past 2 years. Now, as we get into this copy, the Signature Series Signed Platinum Edition by Todd, you could see the last sale has been recorded at $1,287. The 90-day average for this book, $1,014 on just 3 sales. Now, if we compare the 9.6 signed and the 9.6 unsigned, they're the exact same price, which to me is actually mind-boggling. The 12-month rolling average, $1,160. In 2022, it was a whopping $2,065 on 3 sales. This book has dropped almost 50%, signed by the Todd father. In 2021, the average was $1,237. So I'm not sure in 2022 if people were just going nuts and overpaying for this book, but it struck me as weird that a signed and an unsigned copy were roughly selling for the same price, which I think is absolutely crazy. I'd want to own this book because it's super rare, and I'd love to have it signed by Todd. Well, I gotta tell you, I'd rather have a 9.8. Regardless, a cool book to have. That's it for another eBay sales video, guys. Again, I always tell you, if you have requests and they sold the prior week, drop in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you're looking for. I want to remind you guys, I'm going to be at the Garden State Comic Fest on June 24th and June 25th. So you're going to be in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area. Do me a favor, stop on by, say hello, come on camera, talk comics with me. I can't wait to see you guys. If you haven't checked out my merch, like I said, check out the merch store below. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.